Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello students, here is the next video of our new topic. In the previous meeting, we have discussed about the public speaking, and as we know, the last project of us is creating the webinar, organizing the webinar. Alright, and one thing that you have to remember is in the webinar, of course, we need an MC, moderator, and some of you will be the MC and the moderator. And this topic will tell you about how to be a great MC and moderator in the webinar. And this is hibah pembelajaran dari Kolaboratif program studi Pendidikan Bahasa Inggris Universitas Subang dengan mitra Universitas Sembilanbelas Kolaka. Alright, so the outline of this why I told you that it is the collaboration, because as we know in the 21st century learning that forces really familiar to be learned and gained by the students or maybe the job seeker as well. The first is collaboration. Collaboration is dealing with working together to reach a goal, putting talent, expertise, and smarts to it. So later on in our final project, you will collaborate. You will be gathered in the committee. You are not only as the organizer, but also maybe the speaker there. So you have to prepare. And communication. Communication is dealing with sharing thoughts, questions, ideas, and solution. And you will try to share your ideas in the group, because I'd like to divide you into a group, but in each group it will be two groups, but in each group there will be Unsub and USN students in each group. So even you are in the different area, you are in Subang and you also in USN Kolaka, but you are able to collaborate and communicate each other. And creativity. Creativity is dealing with trying new approaches to get things done equals innovation and invention. Since COVID-19 pandemic, they have been familiar with the webinar, and this course try to adapt with that new habit, new ideas about the webinar. So the webinar will be the last project because it can be enrich the creativity of the students to adapt with the new ideas, to adapt with new approaches in learning. And the last one is critical thinking. So it is dealing with looking at problems in a new way, linking learning across subject and disciplines. So we hope that with this project, all the skills foreseen here can be gained and enriched together. Right? There are 4 points that I'm going to discuss in this video. The first is focal techniques, visual techniques, MC and the moderator, and common mistakes. Focal techniques covers volume, pitch, pace, articulation, intonation, because as the moderator and MC, especially in the webinar like this, you have to pay attention more on the focal. And also the second one is visual technique. It covers first impression, posture, facial expression, eye contact. And what is MC? What is moderator? What the tips to be a good MC and to be a great moderator? And the last is common mistakes. What and how to handle that? Right. Without further ado, let's move on to the focal techniques. Focal techniques. The first is volume. Volume is dealing with make sure that the audience are able to listen to your voice. Since the webinar used the connection and use laptop, use virtual meetings such as Zoom or Gmeet or WebEx, you have to pay attention to the volume. Your voice, is it audible already or not? Does the audience are able to listen to you? So you have to pay attention to your laptop, to your headphone, maybe to your earphone. You have to pay attention. You have to prepare that all device that you use run very well. Okay, and volume. The audience are able to listen to your voice. And the second one is pace. Pace is dealing with the control, the way how you speak. Do not too slow and do not too fast. Sorry, this is do not too slow and do not too fast. It means that when you are talking to the audience in this, because you cannot see, you cannot reach the people like only in the virtual meeting, but at least you have to make sure that what you are saying is understandable by the audience. So it means that when you talk to the audience in virtual meeting, you have to make the pace of your speech is good. Right? So the next is pitch. Pitch is dealing with how the technique of your voice, or maybe in bahasa suara atau nafas perut, it is different to other technique or napas dada. Kenapa? Karena teman-teman harus bisa membuat pernapasan teman-teman tidak terlihat capek, tidak terlihat terburu-buru, dan tenang agar bisa semuanya antara volume, kecepatan, dan teknik dalam mengeluarkan suaranya itu pas begitu. The next is articulation. Articulation covers vocal training, tongue twister, and voice over. Articulation here is when you are trying to make the utterances, you have to make sure that you can pronounce it with a good, because especially here is in English language, so make sure your pronunciation is correct. You can practice it with vocal training, a, I, u, e, o, and then tongue twister. You know, of course, what tongue twister is, and voiceover. Yes, it is articulation. One of the ways to develop your articulations. And the last is intonation. Intonation is something that can be vary your explanation. It's not flat, but there is the down, raise, climax, and go down, so something like that. So higher intonation is a way to excite the audience, while slowing and lowering your tone will either a point or a speech. And the last is practice. So it needs practice. So it can be concluded that in being an MC, moderator, and also speaker, a vocal technique is really important to enrich. The first is volume. Pastikan bahwa volume teman-teman terdengar oleh audiens yang di sana. Lalu pastikan teman-teman tidak terlalu buru-buru, tidak terlalu cepat-cepat. Lalu Atur pernapasannya dengan pernapasan perut dan artikulasinya yang jelas, biar tidak ada salah dimengerti. Apalagi kita menggunakan bahasa Inggris. Pastikan teman-teman mengecek dulu bagaimana mengucapkan kata tersebut. Kalau tidak yakin, cek dulu bagaimana cara pengucapannya. Lalu intonasinya, bagaimana cara intonasi yang tidak flat, tidak datar, tapi ada turun, ada naik, begitu. Dan latihan. There are many examples. You can visit the examples in the YouTube videos. And in the end of this video, I'd like to show you as well the example of one of the students that became the MC in the previous webinar, and you can watch it. This is the example. Alright, next is visual techniques. Before is vocal techniques, and now visual techniques. They are 1, 2, 3, 4. Fourth thing that you have to pay attention here. The first is posture, gesture, eye contact, and facial expression. Posture is a trigger for emotion, so stand confidently to assume confidence and authority. Even you are facing the laptop, but your posture should be ready, like you are really into that event, you are really into that occasion. So make sure that posture is really, you are ready. And the second one is facial expression. Show the excitement. Facial expression are a great way to convey emotion and attitudes in a public speech. So you can show your smile, and then you can greet the audience, and then you can use your something that it can be shown your willingness to elaborate, to convey your thoughts. The next is gesture. So gesture is dealing with emphasize what you are saying. Make sure your hands are out of your pocket and available for use during the speech. So something like putting your hand in the pocket or something like this. You can put your hands in your chest or something like this. So it cannot show your good gesture, but just calm, and then you can use the movement of your hand to show what you are discussing about. And the last is eye contact. Yes, even you are only in the virtual meeting, you can watch or you can look at to the camera in your laptop and start to talk about stay for anything to that point of camera. Okay, so there are 4 things that you have to pay attention in the visual technique. The first is posture, and then facial expression, gesture, and of course eye contact. All right. Master of ceremony or MC and moderator. What are the difference? You can see here there are many pictures, aren't? Wait, the first is flag ceremony, graduation. So this is a formal. Yes, ini adalah contoh dari menjadi MC atau moderator yang formal di upacara bendera, di wisuda. Dan ini adalah scripted, cannot be improvised. It is already scripted. That is the script, and you cannot improvise that. However, seminar, webinar, workshop, general lecture, it is scripted, but can be improvised. So it is called semi-formal. And it is exhibition, music festival, concert, it is unscripted, should be improved. So yeah, it's like more casual, and it is informal occasion. So there are 3 different things in MC and moderator. The first is formal, semi-formal, and informal. In case we are dealing with semi-formal, Ya, jadi teman-teman meskipun ada teksnya di sana, tapi teman-teman bisa mengimprovisasi. Ya, nanti ketika jadi MC, meskipun sudah teman-teman buat teksnya, tapi nanti diharapkan kalau ada sesuatu yang misalkan ada yang berisik tidak bisa menutup tanda mute-nya, teman-teman bisa uh, kasih peringatan atau teman-teman bisa panggil ketika ada yang belum masuk ataupun teman-teman bisa memberikan hal dan lain sebagainya, informasi dan lain sebagainya. Okay, so alright, so we come to the end of these slides. I'd like to tell you about the tips how to be the MC and the moderator. The first is start by welcoming the audience and thanking them for their presence. Tell yourself. Jadi teman-teman ketika jadi MC atau moderator, ketika ada yang masuk di Zoom, teman-teman bisa mulai sapa, teman-teman bisa mengucapkan terima kasih telah hadir, telah menyempatkan waktu pada pertemuan itu, dan bisa memperkenalkan diri teman-teman. And the second one is tell the audience about the starting time, speaker lineups, presentation time, read the rule of the webinar. Lalu teman-teman juga bisa mulai kasih tahu spill sedikit gitu. Topik apa yang akan dibicarakan pada pertemuan itu, jam berapa mulainya, lalu siapa saja pembicaranya, baca peraturan webinarnya, dan lain-lain. The next says, know the event and say something about it. Remind people what they get to benefit by being here. Jadi teman-teman juga bisa kasih tahu apa manfaat dari mengikuti kegiatan tersebut. Teman-teman kasih tahu bahwa apa sih manfaat dari bergabung pada pertemuan virtual meeting saat itu. Begitu. Jadi harus betul-betul interaktif. Jadi ketika menunggu yang lain masuk sampai full, sampai benar-benar mulai, itu yang MC atau moderator tidak hanya menunggu sampai semuanya masuk, lalu tanpa ada interaksi. Nah, di sini adalah kuncinya interaksi. Sapa, lalu kasih tahu informasi, dan kasih tahu tentang topik apa dan manfaatnya apa. Kuncinya adalah interaksi dengan audiens. The next is make the cue card. Nah, teman-teman harus punya catatan atau skrip tadi, meskipun kita bisa mengimprovisasi, dicatat, di print gitu, atau boleh di HP terus siapa sekarang apa, nah begitu. Itu sangat membantu teman-teman poin ke poinnya begitu. The next is control the timing. Nah, di sini teman-teman adalah yang memegang acara, teman-teman harus tahu jam segini apa, jam setelah itu apa, itu harus pas dengan apa yang teman-teman rencanakan, panitia rencanakan. And the last is at the end of the audience, di akhir teman-teman harus bisa merangkum apa yang disampaikan oleh pembicara dan memberikan kesimpulan itu kepada audiens begitu. Nantinya note-nya itu disampaikan secara lisan kepada audiens. Nah, itu adalah tips dari video ini, bagaimana menjadi seorang MC dan menjadi seorang moderator. Even though that there are many errors, mistakes in conducting that, it is taken from the experience when I organized the webinar for my class from 3 years ago. Yeah, this is maybe the third year that it is annual event. Yes, so here it is. What are the common mistakes are conducted by the MC and the moderator? The first is not on time. Nah, ini berseberangan dengan apa yang saya sampaikan sebelumnya. Meskipun kita sudah mulai atau kita sudah dibagikan jadwalnya jam berapa, tetapi kadang ketika hari hanya itu suka molor dikit tuh, 5 menit, 10 menit, 15 menit gitu. Karena menunggu semuanya kumpul dan ya itu adalah masalah terbesar nih. Nah, nanti di sana otomatis harus ada kerjasama yang baik antara panitia dan peserta juga. Nah, harus betul-betul tegas kepada peserta agar bisa masuk kumpul di Zoom sesuai dengan waktu yang direncanakan. Yang kedua adalah poor preparation. Nah, karena kunci dari acara di sini itu yang sangat kelihatan adalah MC dan moderator, bagaimana mereka ini adalah yang membawa acara dari satu tahap ke tahap selanjutnya, dan tahap akhir. Kalau tidak ada kesiapan yang baik, kesiapan yang matang, itu kadang suka tidak terlihat rapi, kadang monoton, kadang terlalu lama jeda waktu ke tahap satu ke tahap selanjutnya, karena itu tadi tidak adanya persiapan yang matang dan tidak munculnya inisiatif gitu, tidak ada improvisasi yang baik begitu. Oke, makanya itu teman-teman harus bisa mengimprovisasi dan lihat mana bolong-bolongnya begitu. Lalu yang selanjutnya adalah too scripted. Nah, ini juga meskipun teman-teman membuat skrip ya, tetapi terlalu dibaca begitu. Tidak ada interaksi eye contact, terlalu fokus ke teks yang sudah teman-teman buat. Nah, tapi kan tadi kita harus ada visual teknik begitu ya. Jadi teman-teman harus ya hafal gitu, agak hafal lah gitu. Jadi catatannya itu hanya sebagai handout, hanya sebagai points to points, not as the scripted. Dan yang terakhir adalah lack of improvement. Nah, tadi I have told you before that as the MC and the moderator, you have to initiate. If plan A is not run very good, try plan B, plan C, and so on. Ya, karena utamanya adalah MC dan moderator yang memegang acara. Okay, so that is the common mistakes. I hope that in this project, in the end of this semester, we are able to organize a good event and we can collaborate together. Alright, so thank you very much and good luck for us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Welcome to the virtual English Student Conference and Call for Paper, English Education Study Program, Universitas Subang, in collaboration with English Education Study Program, Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut. First of all, let's say thanks to Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala, who has been giving us guidance, happiness, healthy, and mercy, so we can participate in this event without any obstacle. Praise and salutation upon our Prophet Muhammad Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam, the last messenger and the best figure of this universe. I am Irma Siti Fatimah, your host for today. I also would like to greet the Honorable Head of English Education Study Program, Universitas Subang, Bapak Slamet Wahyudi Yulianto. Our honorable lecturers, Bapak Muhammad Anjar Nugraha and Ibu Ida Maulida. And of course, our keynote speaker from Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut, Ibu Yustika Nurfajriah. Ladies and gentlemen, before we begin this event, let's us pray together by recite Al-Fatihah in our heart. May Allah Subhanahu wa Ta'ala make this event beneficial for all of us, and this event can run smoothly and conductively. Ladies and gentlemen, this webinar is held in collaboration between English Education Study Program, Universitas Subang, and English Education Study Program, Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut. This webinar is the second webinar which is held online regularly every year by English Education Study Program, Universitas Subang, start from last year. The main topic of today's webinar is current issues in teaching English as a foreign language. For the next hours together, we will discuss about learning autonomy, multimodal pedagogy, ICT in ELP, teacher professional development, curriculum development, and TFL methodology. Today's webinar will be divided into two sessions, which is featuring Ibu Yustika Nurfajriah as our keynote speaker and the speakers from both English Education Study Program, Universitas Subang, and English Education Study Program, Institut Pendidikan Indonesia Garut. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now in the opening session. Without further ado, I would like to invite our Chief of Committee, Ricky Faturizik, to deliver a speech about this event. Ricky, over to you.
Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.